Hello, my name is Lisa Giordano. I'm chair of the Animal Welfare Committee for Greg Ball, and just want to introduce Greg. I'm not a big talker, so I'm going to give this all to him.
Any more introductions? Okay, so it's Tim.
Tim Kelly. Yes.
Okay. Do we have any members as well from Humane Society or any other organizations?
Marge, come on out.
SPC, why don't you come on out?
Marge, come on.
Okay, what's your name again?
Marge, you got it.
Marge, okay. And is there anybody else, any other organizations? Okay.
We are No Kill New York.
No Kill New York, okay. How can you be against No Kill New York? So, hopefully you'll speak. I know Lisa May will speak in a little bit, and then Tim will talk specifically about the genesis of this piece of legislation. But I know everybody's very busy. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. You know, there are a lot of important issues that we're dealing with as a state, no doubt about it. And sometimes, because I have several pieces of legislation on animal rights bills, there are those that say, look, and we're in a crushing economy and folks are losing their jobs. We can chew gum and walk at the same time.
Yes.
You know, I learned how to do that as a young kid and at the academy, and when it's called proper management. And we're working on all the other issues, but really during this tough economy, when you see this crippling economy, seniors fall through the cracks, victims of domestic violence fall through the cracks. Hannah's going to come over to the press and try to bribe each and every one of you. And also, our animals, our four-legged furry friends, fall through the cracks many times because the network that's there is being taken away piece by piece because of the lack of government funding and a lack of attention, especially during this economy. So whether we see this on the hoarding front or puppy mills or any of the issues in between, this is very serious stuff. New York State is a great state, but we've got to move forward to make sure that New York State is actually at the precipice and at the tip of the spear of ensuring that. Or Andrew, you want me to? She's okay. Am I going to get in trouble if I just let her go? Okay. So she'll just do her thing. She'll be okay. Nobody needs to hold her. So the piece of legislation that we would have, when you look at New York State, it has the largest, we're talking about the largest consumer economy in the country. And we represent one of the largest consumer economies in the world. And we now have a business that is supported by impulse buying in particular, that really New York State is one of the biggest generators for puppy mills all throughout this country. And you can take a look at the press release and see the way that these animals are raised. Dogs should never be treated like this or in conditions like this, and all you have to do is go on YouTube and take a look at how these animals are raised. And we would in no way, the conditions are horrific, and you're going to hear firsthand, there's story after story all throughout Westchester County and beyond, where we have men and women that go into a pet shop, which is probably one of their first mistakes. They go into that pet shop and they buy a puppy that seems really cute and cuddly, as they all are, and they don't realize that that puppy came from a puppy mill, which is what needs to be affected by New York State law so we can begin to inform our consumers. In many instances, because of the way that the parents were raised and are being raised, those puppies have health problems for the rest of their lives, and many times those lives are very short. So we want to protect the consumers, but we also want to make sure that the largest consumer economy in this country does not support this horrific trade in puppy mills. I'm also working, we have Jim Tedesco, my favorite furry friend in the New York State Assembly, and we will be having an Animal Advocacy Day on June 13th. So we're asking for folks throughout Westchester County, Putnam County, Rockland, all throughout this area, please come up on June 13th. And we feel confident we're going to be able to get this bill to a vote. It's passed in committee, and we believe we're going to be able to get it to a vote in the Senate. We need to get it to a vote in the Assembly and signed by the governor. Okay?
Yes.
Hannah, you want to talk?
My name is Marge Gottesman. As a volunteer at the SPCA of Westchester, and on behalf of the board, staff, and volunteers, I'd like to express my extreme gratitude to Senator Ball for his efforts on behalf of protecting the innocent animals who suffer in puppy mills. The SPCA has rescued animals from breeders who conduct their business with no concern for the welfare of their product. I have personally witnessed the terror and fear of a female dog who has been bred over and over, never allowed out of a too small cage or taken for a walk on the grass. I have seen puppies who were born into squalor and filth suffer and die from diseases that might have been prevented with basic hygiene and veterinary care. These animals are helpless victims that are sold to families who have no knowledge of the origins or their health, and must often make the heartbreaking decision to put them down. By addressing this issue through Bill S-7268, Senator Ball has created legislation that will require the oversight necessary to stop inhumane breeding in New York State. The SPCA of Westchester is extremely honored to support this bill and that helps to create a more humane world for the innocent animals who live in it. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Deb Pagano with Tim Kelly, and they're going to speak specifically just this piece of legislation known as Charlemagne's Law. Actually, I was contacted by Deb and her sister for a dog, a puppy that actually, an animal that they had to put down. They're from Long Island, and we've been fighting this fight now for, so I'm in the majority in the Senate now, so we're going to get it done, right? Okay, good.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Senator, and thanks for your common sense and your compassion, because there are a lot of issues here. I do want to just say one thing to Senator Ball's point. A very famous man, Gandhi, once said that a measure of society is how you treat your weakest members. That was true then, it's true today for everything that was discussed there. We have a lot of things going on here in our world, in our state, but 40% of the residents of the state are pet owners. 40%. There are 87,000 pets in the country. So this is something very near and dear. The way this started, Deb's sister, I've known her and Deb for over 30 years now. Very happy to be here speaking on behalf of Lori Pagano. Like many families go into a pet shop, and what do we see? We see this wonderful picture of puppies running around in the torn up paper, and it's a very sanitary looking environment. And when I was made aware of what was happening, I just could not stay silent myself. This is a matter of passion and compassion. The story is that Lorianne got herself a Brussels Griffon, which she thought was that breed. Shortly after she purchased it from the pet shop, she began to experience some very sad and very serious issues with the dog's health. As it turns out, it wasn't even a Brussels Griffon, it was some other breed of dog. And they learned through thousands of dollars of expenses at different veterinarians trying to cure the dog of its illnesses, that the dog just had some genetic flaws in its breeding that would not allow it to live. And after many, many attempts to go back to the breeder, they were turned down again and again and again. And like every other family who's got a pet that they love, they did not want to give up on this pet, but had no recourse from the store owner, or the breeder. In our lives, we have homes, we have possessions, and those are things that we don't keep as long as we keep pets. This is an issue that's very near and dear. Today, you can buy a car, you can buy a houseplant, and take it back a year later. And most shops will honor that purchase, that sale, with a replacement. This has become an issue of commerce, but it's very near and dear to our hearts, what is happening here, okay? The ability for a pet owner to be able to go back to the store where they purchased their pet and they become part of their family. To have that store and that breeder accountable is just so important, so vitally important. And we're hoping, thanks to you, Senator, that the proper breeders and the proper sellers of pets will be accountable up to 6 months after they sell that. And you know, we hope that everybody takes up this fight. Thank you so much for the common sense.
So do any of the pets want to say anything?
Can we just get one big picture before we done?
Yeah, sure.
Of everyone? I think our guests are getting a little antsy.
Okay. Any questions?
What's the biggest obstacle to getting this to a vote in the Senate?
You know, it's amazing that everybody in Albany seems to have a lobbyist, and it's amazing how hard it is to even get good things done in our state capitol. But I believe that we're pushing hard enough that we're going to see it come to a vote. The fact that it's going out of the Agricultural Committee with support is a really, really good sign. And we feel it's taken a while. It's been a long fight. But it's taken a while. But we even have the pet dealers now because they realize it's something that's got to be done. In my opinion, they're now coming to the table and realize that they have to raise the bar as well. So I feel really good about it. We need as many people to show up in June 13th as possible. And then people should call their majority members in the assembly as well to make sure this passes the assembly. Any questions? Is that it? Okay, let's get a picture.